All right, 49er fans, practice is underway in Santa Clara, and we got all our updates on the injured players. And there's still, again, a couple surprises in here, and we'll get into it right now. Let's start right here with the 49ers' second newest kicker, I guess you could say. Matthew Wright didn't practice for the second day in a row. So this is starting to be a trend that really does put his availability in doubt for this game against the Kansas City Chiefs. As we know, the San Francisco 49ers added another kicker in Anders Carlson. They added him to the practice squad. There's a good chance we will see him, especially if Matthew Wright doesn't practice tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. Now, this was a bit of a surprise as well. Defensive tackle Kevin Givens didn't practice today after practicing yesterday. So the 49ers continue to have their interior depth at defensive tackle tested, but we do have some good news for the defensive line, and we'll get into that right now. So that good news is both 49ers interior defensive tackle Malik Collins and defensive end Leonard Floyd both returned to practice. Now, with Leonard Floyd, it was a vet day, so we weren't concerned there. However, with Malik Collins, a little bit concerned regarding his availability. Again, just for the simple fact that the 49ers are so thin at defensive tackle depth with the injuries that they have sustained. So the fact that he was able to practice today is a good sign for his availability coming up against the Chiefs. Obviously, if he practices tomorrow as well, that will also be a good sign in the right direction. Now, for the names that you guys have all been waiting for, Jauan Jennings doesn't practice today. That becomes the second day in a row of no practicing for JJ, and that is a concern for his availability. This now is officially kind of, you know, unofficially putting him in doubt. He's not officially in doubt yet. This is my interpretation of him missing two practices in a row that he likely is trending towards not being able to go against the Chiefs. Now, there's still a little silver lining. If he's able to at least put in a limited participation on Friday, that still kind of at least opens up the ability for him to play again if he is a DNP. It's trending towards him not going versus the Chiefs. Obviously, he had a phenomenal game against the Chiefs the last time they played, so you would love to see him out there, but that remains to be seen at this current state in time. So we'll have to see if JJ will be up for this game. And tomorrow's practice reports become very, very important for that. And now, obviously, these two other players, Jordan Mason and Deebo Samuel, we obviously know why Jordan Mason is on this injury report. Deebo Samuel was a bit of a surprise, limited participant yesterday. He was wearing a blue non-contact jersey today. He's designated as a wrist injury, whereas you have Jordan Mason also wearing a blue non-contact jersey. Now the positive is they are both practicing, so that is a good sign. However, the blue non-contact, obviously they're being cautious with them. Still want them to go out there and get the work. Just make sure you can't touch them. So we'll again continue to see how this evolves, um, especially on Friday. I'm really curious to see if they're able to shed those blue non-contact jerseys. I think that will be a strong indication for both of them. But I do think that they are still trending in the right direction for playing in this game. But again, that's why we've been watching and paying attention to all of these practice reports, and we will have to continue to pay attention to them as we move forward. So, Friday, tomorrow, will be a big day for injury updates and giving us the practice availabilities for these players. So, we'll have to see how that ultimately goes. But those are your injury updates. Other than that, I think everyone else was a full participant who is able. Obviously, a lot of people are wanting to know what is the deal with Ricky Pearsall. He was back in practice, full pads. This video right here, courtesy of David Lombardi. Um, so he's out there now again. So I've been getting it confused. I've been saying he's been on IR. He's actually on the NFI, non-football injury list. So he's on the NFI list. Same process as the IR. So the 49ers opened up his 21-day practice window for him to return. It's not officially, uh, he's not officially been activated from the NFI list. So he's still technically on that list. So we don't know if he will be up for this game. However, I will say that with Jauan Jennings potentially being out for this game, that it probably is trending towards him being up for this one because the 49ers are going to need additional wide receiver help. Then why not tap into your former first round draft pick from this season? Now, obviously, conditioning, I think, has been one of the things that have come into play with him so far. Obviously, not practicing in the football sense and getting that football conditioning. So we'll have to see what the 49ers ultimately decide. I don't know if they'll decide that tomorrow when Kyle Shanahan speaks, or they'll decide that on Saturday. But with Ricky, obviously, exciting to see him out there in pads. He's out here returning punts and kicks, and that really does feel like where he would first get his opportunities on the field if activated would be in special teams. So we'll have to see if the 49ers feel comfortable with that. But again, the Jauan Jennings thing actually might present uh, a streamlined opportunity for Ricky Pearsall to step onto the field. And man, I think it would. I've talked about it all week, and I'll say it again. I think it would be such a positive jolt of energy to be able to have Ricky Pearsall up for this game, especially the emotional game that it already is against the Kansas City Chiefs. But again, just something else to get you hyped up, something else to play for, something else to put this game into perspective, because of obviously of everything that Ricky Pearsall has gone through, and you've heard the players talk about it. And so it would be fantastic to be able to get Ricky up for this one, in my opinion. I think the fans would love it. I know the players would. It'd be something. It would be a great story. Great, something. Definitely something to talk about. But again, we will have to wait and see. Not officially off the NFI list, not out the weeds yet. Well, we gotta wait. We got to wait. But man, if they bring him up, that sure would be a fun story. But this has been your 49ers update on the practice reports. I know there's been a lot of them. There's a lot of stuff to get through, a lot of stuff to talk about. But let me know what you guys think about this. Where are you finding your concerns? Um, are you finding optimism? Where do you think Jauan Jennings will he play? Will he not? Do you think the 49ers are going to activate Ricky Pearsall? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.